The cafe was too bright for 7:30 a.m. All sterile tile and sterile laughter. Erin picked the table by the window like she always did, something about natural light, making her skin look better in candid photos. So, she said, tapping her nails against her coffee lid, "Are you applying for the team lead spot?" I looked up from the folder in my lap, thinking about it. "You should, definitely." She took a loud sip. "I mean, even if you don't get it, it's good visibility." I waited. She leaned back, lips curling just enough to pretend it was a smile. "Not that you're, leadership material." I stirred my drink, slow and even. "How do you mean?" "Oh God," she laughed. "Don't be so sensitive. I just meant, like some people are more support types, behind the scenes. You're reliable, detail-oriented. That's your zone of genius, right?" My spoon clicked once against the cup. "Right? I'm a mess with that stuff," she went on. "But people trust me. It's an energy thing. You can't really teach that." "Sure," I said. She reached across and touched my wrist lightly, the way women do when they want you to not be mad at them for something they absolutely meant. "Don't take it the wrong way. You're great at what you do." "I know," I said. Her eyes flicked to her phone. "Should I have stand up in 10? You good with the deck for today? I sent it last night." "You're a lifesaver." She flashed that bright, rehearsed grin and stood, her heels loud on the tile. "Coffee's on me. By the way, little thank you." I watched her walk out, watched her adjust her coat like there was a mirror in front of her instead of a wall. When the door shut behind her, I picked up her untouched croissant and dropped it in the trash. She joined the company 18 months after me, riding in on a wave of high praise from some tech incubator where she'd scaled cross-functional teams. In disruptive environments, her words, not mine. Erin never used one syllable when 5 would do. We shared a floor, a manager. And too many late nights. I did the budgets, she led the presentations, I built the systems. She named them. She was loud, kinetic, exhausting, but smart. I respected that. She respected nothing but perception. That afternoon, she poked her head into my cube like it was an accident. "Did you check the Slack thread?" "No." "Oh." "Jason loved the deck. He said it had executive polish." She winked, which we both know is code for my font choice. I didn't answer. "Anyway, good job." "Really?" She lingered. "Did you decide about the team lead app?" "Not yet." She lowered her voice like we were co-conspirators. "If I were you, I'd wait until the next cycle. Let this shake out. Jason's probably already got someone in mind, and you don't want to burn capital on a no." "You think I'd get a no?" She hesitated, not for lack of skill, just timing. "And optics, don't get me wrong. I'd love to have you in that seat someday. But not now. Not with the current landscape," she said, voice smooth as veneer. "Politics matter. And you're not a political player." I nodded. "Thanks for the insight." She smiled again, the same way she did when taking credit for things she didn't fully understand. "Always happy to help." She left and I noted the timestamp. That evening I worked late, not because I needed to, but because it calmed me. Erin's words looped like a low radio station, not leadership material. Support type, behind the scenes. I opened the org chart and stared at her title: product strategy lead. Mine, senior project manager. Same band level, different perception. I pulled out the team KPIs. Mine were steady. Hers spiked and dipped like ASCISMOGRAPH. At 9:03 p.m. I clicked off the lamp, grabbed my coat, and walked to the parking garage alone. But her voice walked with me. "You're not leadership material." Maybe. Or maybe she just wanted me to believe that. And maybe that mattered. Or maybe she was wrong. Jason knocked twice on the glass before stepping into my office. "You free?" I nodded and closed the slide deck, just wrapping up iteration. For the vendor review." "Yes." He hovered a second. "You want to run it? Or should Erin?" I kept my tone neutral. "Who's been in the meetings with them?" "You." "Who fixed the contract clause when legal flagged it?" "You." "Then I should run it." He smiled like I'd passed the test. "Thought so?" She just asked. She always asks after the work's done. Jason chuckled. "Well, it's a polished deck. You've got tomorrow." When he left, I opened Slack. "Me, vendor reviews mine." Jason confirmed. "Erin, you're not seriously territorial about this?" "Me, I'm responsible for the deliverable." "Erin, so am I joint credit, remember?" "Me, credit's earned, not assigned." She didn't reply. By noon, she was at my desk. "Hey," she said too brightly. "We're a little tense today." I looked up. "I'm focused, right?" She laughed, leaning against the divider. "Just next time maybe loop me in before locking something with Jason." "You wanted to run a meeting you didn't attend prep for." I was fielding ops escalation. "Jason knows that, so do I." I still did the prep. "God, you're prickly today." "No," I said calmly. "I'm consistent." Erin tilted her head. "You don't have to compete with me." "I'm not." "It feels like you are." "Then maybe you're seeing me clearly for the first time." She stared. Wow. I turned back to my screen. Anything else? Her voice dropped. You know I've always had your back, name. One time you've said that publicly. She stopped. This isn't who you are. I met her eyes. Then you never really knew me. Later that week, we sat side by side in Jason's office, reviewing quarterly performance. His eye scanned the shared dashboard, then landed on the rollout timeline. Looks like your team hit every milestone, he said. Thanks, Aaron said before I could speak. It was a push. But we made it. I didn't move. Jason frowned. Didn't you join halfway through this phase? She shifted, sure. But I accelerated things. I spoke evenly. I led scoping, vendor selection, UAT, and rollout. Aaron provided stakeholder alignment and comms. Jason looked between us. Is that accurate? Aaron smiled. Let's not get caught up in logistics. It's a team win. I kept my voice flat. Logistics are the work. After the meeting, she caught me in the hallway. What was that? Clarity. You threw me under the bus. No, I said. I pulled the curtain back. Her jaw clenched. You've changed. I'm tired, I said. Not stupid. She leaned in. People don't like when you start taking credit all of a sudden. Then they weren't paying attention. You think Jason's going to forget who built my reputation here? I didn't blink. No. I think he's finally asking who built the work. She opened her mouth, but no sound came. I walked away. The dashboard refreshed at 6:03 a.m. Budget burn, velocity, defect rate, delivery margin. My columns were green. Aaron's flickered red dot at 6:07. I screenshotted everything dot by 10. Jason flagged me on Slack. Jason, can you stop by before you're 11? Me. On my way. His door was half closed. I knocked once. Come in, he said. Shut it behind you. I did. Sit. He pointed to the chair across from him. What's going on with Aaron's team? I kept my voice level. Which part? Her velocity dipped below 50%. QA tickets are stalling. Budget's 38 over. Yes, you knew. I've been tracking it since Q2. He blinked. Why didn't you raise it? She didn't ask. Jason frowned. This isn't about courtesy, I know. It's about accountability. He leaned back. You're saying you could have fixed it? I'm saying I flagged the risks to her months ago. She deprioritized ops remediation to chase customer-facing velocity, which tanked anyway. Yes. And she didn't loop you in. She said it would confuse ownership. Jason ran a hand over his face. Do you have documentation? I slid the printed email chain across the desk, April to June, plus meeting notes. He flipped through the first few pages. Jesus, I didn't respond. She told me this morning it was a resourcing issue. She's had 5 open headcounts since March. Why didn't you go around her? I don't make a habit of undermining peers. Jason looked at me. But you kept receipts. I make a habit of protecting my work. That afternoon, Aaron stopped at my desk. You met with Jason. He asked me to. She folded her arms. You went in with printouts? He asked for context. Her eyes narrowed. You know how this looks. I know exactly how it looks. You're playing political. No. I'm showing my math. Her jaw tightened. You think I don't know how to lead a team? I think you don't know how to ask for help. And you do. You hoard context like it's power. I document because I've had to. Oh. Please, you ran over budget, broke sprint structure, and left UAT to a contractor. That's not leadership. That's slippage. Are you trying to get me fired? No, I said. I'm trying not to carry your dead weight anymore. She left without a word. Jason called me back at 5. She's not happy. She wasn't performing. He nodded. I'll be auditing both teams this week. I expected that. You're clean. But stay sharp. I always am. He looked at me for a long moment. You've been underestimated. I've been busy working. He smiled, faintly, noted. The quarterly review started late. Jason likes suspense. Let's keep this efficient, he said. Clicking the slide remote, results first. Applause later. We laughed, lightly, nervously. He moved through revenue trends, burn rates, delivery margins. Aaron smiled every time our department came up. I didn't. Then the final slide, leadership updates. Jason straightened. This quarter, we're proud to announce a strategic elevation, someone who's demonstrated high-impact initiative and strong alignment with executive vision. Aaron Talbot has been promoted to Senior Director of Product Strategy. Applause. My hands joined in. She didn't look at me. Jason gestured to her. Say a few words. Aaron stood. Flawless and cream wool and certainty. Thank you, Jason. And thank you to the incredible teams who've made this possible. Leadership is never so low. It's built on trust, collaboration, and grit. More applause. She sat down. Her eyes skipped right over mine. Jason resumed. We'll circulate updated org charts and ownership roles by Monday. For now, congrats, Aaron. I counted backward from 5. Then I smiled. In the hallway, I kept pace behind her. She turned just before the elevator. You okay? Fine, you. Didn't seem surprised. I wasn't. She tucked hair behind her ear. You heard early, no. I just know how rooms like that move. Her voice lowered. You didn't apply. I didn't see the point. You should've, you're solid. Detail-oriented. Great on process, just not leadership material, I said. Her lips parted. I didn't mean it like that. You meant it exactly like that. You're not angry, no. I said, I'm informed. Jason stopped me near the stairwell. Hey, you good? Yes, you did great this quarter. I hope you know that. Thank you. The board wanted visibility. Aaron's good in those rooms, and I'm not. He hesitated. You're measured, that's not a flaw, no. But it doesn't always translate in a 10-minute pitch. I wasn't offered one, Jason sighed. It wasn't personal, neither is erosion. But eventually, it changes the shape of things. He looked tired. Let's talk Monday. There's still opportunity. I'm sure there is. I said. For someone. He blinked. You're not going to quit, are you? No. I said calmly. I'm going to work. And I walked away. I found the watch buried under old notebooks and expired chargers. The leather strap cracked and stiff. It hadn't ticked in years. I wound it once. Gently, nothing. The face was scratched, the brass dulled still. I held it. Like something breathing. Clock's not broken, he used to say, just needs a steady hand. The next morning, I called in late, not sick, not stranded, just not rushing. By 10, I walked into the repair shop on 11th, the quiet corner. All ticking things and quiet men. The clerk looked up. Vintage was my father's, I said. Placing it on the mat, mechanical. He picked it up. Like a sleeping animal. He wear it often, every day. Until the year he stopped building for other people. Engineer, systems, I said. Military contracts. He left when they started cutting corners. The man nodded, pried the back open. It'll take a few days. But it's worth fixing, I nodded. I know. That night, I pulled his old notes from the closet, designs, sketches, calculations for bridges and fiber switches and heat-tolerant cables. Not glamorous, but precise. We used to sit at the table while he diagrammed circuits on napkins. They'll want you to go fast, he'd say. Don't, I'm not slow. No. He'd smile. You're measured. That's different. At work, I started making lists. Projects where Aaron took the lead but not the blame. Meetings she skipped, contracts she signed but didn't read. Metrics she presented but hadn't tracked. By Wednesday, the stack of documentation on my desk was clean, chronological, and damning. Everything okay? Tanya from HR asked in the kitchen. Fine, you're quiet, focused, she nodded. Sometimes quiet is when the work sharpens. I looked at her. Exactly. At home, I dusted off the old chessboard. My father's pieces were weighted brass. He used to say the board told you everything. Who was exposed? Who was bluffing? Who thought they were safer than they were? He played without smiling. Every move deliberate. Don't flinch, he'd say. Just hold the board and watch where the queen wanders. She's never as protected as she thinks. Thursday, Jason knocked. You have a second? I closed my laptop. Yes, you've been documenting Aaron's work. I've been tracking outcomes. You've seen the same numbers I have. He hesitated. You planning something? No, I said. I'm preparing. For what? For when she sets the board on fire and asks who brought matches. Jason exhaled. She's not a bad person. No, I said. She's just not used to being watched that night. I picked up the watch. The clerk wound it once and it ticked slow, steady, back to life. She's a keeper, he said. I slipped it on my wrist. Yes. I said, she is. Aaron appeared in the war room with 2 iced coffees and a wide, tired grin. Peace offering, she said, placing one near my elbow. You've been carrying a lot. I didn't look up. What changed? I don't want weirdness. Between us, we're stronger as a unit. I finally met her eyes. Unit implies alignment, okay? She said, light but firm. That's fair. I've been distracted. Distracted managers lose people and budgets. She sat beside me, sliding a folder across the table. That's why I need your help with this vendor wrap-up. You're better at catching the landmines. You signed the contract. I skimmed it. I trusted their rep. Then you missed the payment trigger clauses. She paused. How? Bad. We owe them for milestones they never hit. Shit. I handed her the annotated version. They backdated progress reports. You didn't verify. I cleaned it up. You already fixed this. No. I fixed the exposure. Legal still needs to renegotiate. Erin reached for her coffee. Didn't sip. You're pissed. I'm efficient. She lowered her voice. Can we just get through Q4? That depends on what? If you stop assuming someone else will absorb your wake. That night, I flagged for projects with incomplete timesheets and discrepancies in contractor logs. All of them under Erin's purview. I exported the records, labeled them neutrally, and saved them to my private archive. I didn't send them. Not yet. The next morning, I found her at the printer. Did you reschedule the check-in with DevOps? She looked up, startled. Was I supposed to? It was in your calendar. The team's still waiting. God, she rubbed her forehead. I'll fix it. People are quitting, Erin. Not because of one meeting. No, I said. Because of many. She stared at the tray as it spat out someone else's report. You think I'm not trying? I think you're overwhelmed and pretending you're not. I'm not the only one messing up. I'm the only one cleaning it up. I left her standing there and walked into Jason's office uninvited. He looked up. Something wrong? I need clarity on risk tolerance. Legal or financial? Operational? He gestured for me to sit. Talk to me if a senior lead repeatedly bypasses compliance, mishandles vendor relations, and obscures labor tracking. Are we talking about Erin? I'm talking about patterns. Jason frowned. You're keeping documentation. Yes. Are you planning to report? I'm planning to stop absorbing the fallout by Friday. Erin pinged me on Slack. Erin, can you cover for me? In the Friday review? I have a thing. Me. No. Erin. You usually don't mind. Me. That was before. Erin. Before what? Me. Before I started tallying your things. She didn't respond. At 6:12 p.m. She showed up at my desk. You don't have to act like this. Like what? Like you're better? I'm just done pretending we're equal. She exhaled sharply. Where is this coming from? The spreadsheets you never opened, the bugs you never logged, the teams you never thanked. You're twisting things. No, I said. I'm auditing them. Her voice dropped. Are you trying to take me down? No, I said. I'm just stepping out of the blast zone. And I closed my laptop. Jason closed the door behind me and motioned to the chair across from his desk. You booked time, he said. That's never random. It's not. He sat. All right, let's hear it. I slid the folder forward. Start with tab 1, budget reconciliation. He opened it. This looks like February to May. Vendor overpayment, milestone billing, incorrect sign-off chain. Who signed? Erin? Jason turned the page. Jesus. Tab 2 is labor discrepancies. 42 unlogged contractor hours. COD tickets closed without verification. He looked up. You tracked all this for months. And you're bringing it to me now? Because I'm done managing fallout from a promotion I didn't get. He leaned back slowly. You're angry. No, I said. I'm precise. Jason set the folder down. You understand what this means. It means you have data. Actionable. Dated, confirmed. And you waited until now. I wanted a pattern. Now I have one. He tapped the cover. You're asking me to? I'm not asking you to do anything. Jason narrowed his eyes. Then why come to me? To inform you. Of what? That if you protect her after this, I'll take it up the chain. His face hardened. You're threatening me. No. I'm clarifying stakes. If you choose silence, you've made a decision, and I need to know that before I plan my next move. He was quiet for several seconds. You think she's malicious? No. I said, just careless. But carelessness in leadership becomes structural. It becomes culture. Jason exhaled. This is a lot. It's been a lot for a while. He looked back at the folder. What do you want? Accountability. Titles? Not mine, I said, just hers, accurately reflected. Jason folded his hands. You want her gone? I want the work respected, whatever form that takes. Another long pause. I need time, he said. You have it. 30 days. Why 30? Because after that I'm sending this to legal with or without your signature on the front. Jason's jaw flexed. Understood. I stood. Thank you for your time. He didn't speak. I left quietly. The email landed at 9:02 a.m. Subject, staff transition message. Erin Talbot will be leaving the company to pursue other opportunities effective end of week. We thank her for her contributions. No party, no handover, no reply, all sentimentality. At the bottom, exit interview, to 30 p.m., interviewer. My name. She arrived 4 minutes late. You requested me? I asked, not looking up. She slid into the chair. No. Must have been random. I opened the laptop. Shall we? Let's. Final role held. You know that. Still required. Senior Director of Product Strategy. Length of tenure, 3 years, 6 months. I typed each key deliberate. She shifted. So this is how it ends. I just asked the questions. And you enjoy it? I looked at her. Do you think I do? Erin exhaled, glanced at the ceiling. Jason said it was mutual. I'm not here to confirm or deny. She crossed her arms. You built a case. I documented the work. You wanted my title. No, I said. I wanted the damage to stop. She laughed quietly. You always did think of yourself as clean. No, I said, just honest. I moved down the form. What prompted your departure? You. Be specific. You made it political, strategic, cold. I made it accountable. Erin leaned forward. I helped you. You used me. I mentored you. You minimized me. Her voice cracked. I never meant for it to go this far. I didn't push, I said. You leaned too hard and fell. The silence stretched. I'm not a villain. She said finally. I didn't say you were. You just let them think it. They read the numbers. They read the ones you showed. I met her eyes. They read what existed. I finished the form. Where should HR send your final packet? She hesitated. Personal email. I nodded. She stood. Hesitated, then said, do you feel better? No, she blinked. Then why do it? To feel nothing, I said. She stared. I closed the laptop. We're done. She left. And the door made no sound. She was already seated when I walked in, back straight. Hair tucked behind one ear. No laptop. No coffee. Just a water bottle and a glossed-over expression she probably practiced in the mirror. Erin, I said. Let's do it, she replied, too fast. I sat down and opened the folder. The walls of the conference room were too white. Position title at time of departure, you know it. Save for the record, Senior Director of Product Strategy. Effective date, tomorrow. I wrote it down. She tapped her fingers against the bottle. What prompted your decision to leave? Silence. Erin, you did. I looked up. Excuse me. You cornered me. Quietly, efficiently, without raising your voice once. It was surgical. I clicked, my pen closed. You're free not to answer. No, she said. I want it on record, that I know what happened. All right. What happened? You waited, you watched, you documented everything I missed. Every mistake I made, then showed it to Jason like a report card I wasn't invited to take. I opened the pen again. Next question. You're not even going to deny it. There's nothing to deny. The data existed, you just ignored it. Her jaw tightened. You enjoyed this. No. I earned it. She leaned back. You're not as calm as you pretend. Don't mistake stillness for absence. You could have come to me. I did many times. I mean, really come to me. I did, I said, and every time. You smiled and moved on. She folded her arms. So this was about revenge? No, I said. It was about gravity. Eventually. Things fall. I returned to the form. What aspects of your role did you find most rewarding? None of this matters. Try, she sighed, leading strategy sessions, influencing direction. What aspects did you find most challenging? Back-channel politics, and apparently, allies with long memories. I was never your ally, I said. Evenly, I was your foundation. You just didn't notice the cracks. She stared at me. You waited until I was at my peak. I waited until I had nothing left to clean up. You didn't even flinch, she said. Not when they named me. Not when they praised me. You just clapped. Would you have preferred I cried? She said nothing. Do you believe your responsibilities were clearly defined? No. But I liked it that way. Why? It gave me space to succeed or to hide. Erin didn't answer. I wrote ambiguous. What feedback would you offer leadership? She blinked. They trust the wrong people. They trusted you. They trusted you more. They just didn't know it. I looked up. That's not feedback. That's projection. She pushed the bottle away. I should have listened to you. You did, I said. When it was convenient. She laughed once, sharp and low. I should hate you. You do. No, she said. I envy you. Why? Because I thought control meant speaking the loudest. You knew it meant saying the least. I closed the folder. Any final remarks for your file? Erin stood. You won. This wasn't a game. She hesitated. You'll get everything I had. No, I said. I'll get everything I earned. She lingered. And what do I get? I stood to. You get the silence I gave you every time you claimed credit for something I built. She nodded. Once, turned and walked out, and for the first time the door clicked shut behind her. The door closed behind her and didn't echo. I stayed in the room for a moment longer, folder in hand. Hands still, lungs full. Then I stood, walked out, and let the hallway stretch in front of me like it was mine, past the glass offices, the bullpen, the espresso station. Familiar walls, familiar faces, but the eyes were different now. Tanya from HR caught my arm. Hey, you all right? Yes, she studied me. You look taller, just standing straight. She smiled. We owe you. No one owes me anything. Well, she said. Maybe respect. I passed Marcus near the DevOps corner. Morning, he said. No sit-along glance, no half smirk. Just a full stop and steady eye contact. Morning. I returned. He hesitated. We heard. What did you hear? That she's gone, and it wasn't random. I didn't respond. He added. It was overdue. In the kitchen. Carla handed me the last blueberry muffin from the basket. For the assassin, she said with a wink. I don't do violence. No, she said, just precision strikes. At my desk, the air felt sharper, inbox open, calendar full. Jason message at 10:04. Jason. Can we touch base this week? New ownership's coming your way. Me? Wednesday? 10 a.m. Jason. Booked. Also. Nice work. I closed the window. By noon. I was in the micro-conference room with 2 engineers and a product analyst. They looked at me differently, more deliberate, more still. How do you want to handle the migration? Jonas asked. We start With her backlog, strip it down to fact, remove assumption, and redistribute to the teams that can actually execute. Kara nodded. Do we say her name? No. I said, we say the task's name, and move forward. At 4:03, I walked past the corner office. Erin's whiteboard had been wiped clean. Her nameplate was gone. Just dry wall and faint shadow where the letters had been. Someone would move in eventually. I wasn't waiting. I was already working. The email came mid-morning. Subject line, pilot initiative, lead role confirmation. I read it twice, my name. Centered, bold, no CCs for Erin. No qualifiers. Just mine. Tanya met me outside the HR suite. We appreciate you saying yes. I didn't hesitate. She smiled. You weren't supposed to. It's yours. What's the scope? Internal tooling overhaul. Something clean. Your star architect. Team. You choose. Budget, dates. Support still flexible. But the name of the top WASN single quotes T. At lunch, I ran into Jason outside the elevators. Congrats, he said. It's not a promotion, no. It's authority. Quiet kind. That's the kind I prefer, he nodded. This'll be good for the org. It'll be good for the work. I booked a war room, sent the first invites. Subject, ground floor, initiative planning. No explanation, just time, place, and signature. Mine. At 3 o'clock. The first three showed up: Kara from product ops, Jonas from engineering, and Mira from compliance. This the new thing? Jonas asked. I nodded. We're starting from zero. I'll frame the why, you'll build the how. Mira tilted her head. Whose strategy? Mine. Silence. Then Kara grinned. All right, let's go. We sketched baselines, scoped blockers, listed pain points, the whiteboard filled with diagrams. Every time I picked out the marker, no one interrupted. Jonas asked, who's the sponsor? I replied, I am. He nodded. Copy that. After the session, Mira lingered. You're different. I'm not, I said. I'm just visible now. She smiled. Well, stay visible. I locked the door behind me. No borrow credit. No spotlight. Just the key in my hand, and the room finally opened. The second hand moves like breath, slow, exact, unbothered. I wear it under my sleeve. No one sees it. But I feel it in every room I enter. A rhythm, a beat. I said. Tanya joined me by the elevator. New watch, old one. She tilted her head. You always had that. Not always, just long enough to know when it matters. She smiled. Well, it suits you in the planning. Review. Kara motioned toward the board. Who final signs the integrations? I do. Over ops. I nodded. Chain of command change. Get used to it. Jonas leaned forward. You've always had this in you, haven't you? I've always had to wait. Jason found me in the hallway after. You look solid in there. I was. Stakeholders noticed. They should. He hesitated. You good with all of this? Yes. No regrets, only that I waited as long as I did. He nodded once. Well, keep going. At my desk, I opened the new roadmap. One tab. One owner. One name. Mine. The tick of the watch was soft beneath my cuff. I adjusted it. Not leadership material. Not the way she meant. I lead without noise. I build without needing to be seen. And I don't miss steps, ever.